Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another double movie review, aka After I Saw. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make these reviews separate or if I want to just do the double movie review, aka After I Saw, because I'm going to be very busy this weekend. I know, I say that a lot, but seriously, I am working all weekend, so I wanted to see both these movies at the same time, so yeah, I wasn't sure if I had time to review both of them separately, so I'm just going to review them both. First movie I'm reviewing is Until Dawn. Now, this movie is based on the very popular horror game of the same name that came out 10 years ago, where it was up to you to decide who lives and who dies. It was a very creative game. And in this movie, directed by David F. Sandberg, director of Shazam, Lights Out, and Annabelle Creation, we follow a group of teenagers. In this game, it was 8. This one's like, I think 5, where they run into a house and each of them die, but immediately come back, as it's kind of more like a time loop situation, and their goal of this entire thing is to try and make it out alive. However, they can't just sit around and hope that, the sun will rise, as a bunch of things are after them. Serial killers, supernatural things coming out of the ground and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely far more different from the game, because, when it comes to the game, because if we look on the back of the box of the game, it says when 8 friends return to the isolated mountain lodge where 2 of their group disappear exactly 1 year ago, things quickly turn sinister. Will you run from what's hunting you? Will you try to hide? Or will you stand and fight? So when it comes to the run and hide and stand and fight element, that's definitely in here. However, because this is a movie and because the movie doesn't really bring in a whole lot of time for us to connect with the characters that much, because I think when it comes to the game, they did a really good job with you deciding if you like these characters enough for wanting them to live, or if you just want all of them to die if you don't like any of them. But I can understand, because this is a movie. And one thing that I can definitely say with the game is that it paid homage to horror, basically taking in a throwback to slasher films of who lives and who dies and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate how, it takes the game's concept and just making it into a movie as a whole. While I think it definitely works more as a horror movie rather than just a video game adaptation, I can generally say that I did have myself a pretty fun time watching this movie. It is very entertaining when it comes to violence and gore, because there is a lot of that. There is this water that some people drink and they immediately explode, which I thought was pretty entertaining, because yeah, it's definitely going to be more on the sides of, being more of a homage to, popular horror genres like slasher and supernatural and stuff like that. So it's definitely not going to disappoint in terms of that. However, if you're a fan of the game and wanted it to be more faithful to that game, for one thing, it doesn't really take place in a snowy lodge, so that might disappoint some people because it takes place in this house. It didn't really bother me a whole lot because it's actually been years since I played the game, so I kind of forget entirely what, the entire, setting of that game was like. But I did remember really enjoying the game because of its creative player choice decisions. It's basically like Heavy Rain if it were a horror game. But hey, I can't really say I hated this movie. I actually had a pleasantly fun time with the movie. It may not be the perfect representation of the game, but it is a generally fun one. And if we're talking new video game adaptations, this may be a hot take. I liked it more than a Minecraft movie. Yeah, I said it. It's better than Shake and Jock. Yeah, come on. What are you gonna do? Huh? You want some of me? Come on. Yeah, come on. I said it. Yeah, that's right. But in the end, guys, I had a fun time with Until Dawn. It's definitely far from being a perfect adaptation of a popular video game. It's no Last of Us or anything like that. But hey, it's definitely fun for horror fans who just want a bloody fun time. And sure, characters might not be fully fleshed out just like in the game, but hey, I'm not really going to compare it to the game a whole lot, even though that's exactly what I've been doing throughout this entire review, but it just depends what you expect. I didn't really expect too much from this, but all in all, I had a bloody fun time. Alright, so moving on to review number 2, which is for The Accountant 2, where Ben Affleck returns once again as Christian Wolf, and his brother comes around as he has to help him solve the murder of J.K. Simmons' character. And it's basically like a buddy comedy, well, not really comedy, I mean, there's comedy in the movie, but it's more like a duo buddy action film, something on the lines of like Bad Boys or something like that. I really enjoyed the first Accountant quite a bit. I thought it was very underrated. I actually rewatched it, and I really liked, its concept, how it involved a man who was going through the autism spectrum but isn't afraid to fight back. And it was something that I generally could appreciate. And it doesn't really rely on that concept too much right here. I mean, they don't even bring it up just like they did in the first. They just roll with Christian Wolf as a character. And I had myself a really fun time watching this movie too. It was what I was hoping a working man would be, but I just found that to be very forgettable and could have been a lot more in terms of its silly idea. But I wouldn't say this idea is necessarily silly. It's just not afraid to go as silly. Because while the first movie was definitely far more serious, I definitely appreciate this one for just being more entertaining when it comes to it's being like a buddy action film, and the action sequences, they are a lot of fun. And I am going to say, especially towards the last act, but you hear me say that a lot when it comes to movies like this. What I can definitely say, however, is that, when it comes to its buddy action movie concept, when it comes to moments between them alone, they can be very entertaining, and not in a way that, it's humorous enough to like ruin anything, because when it comes to the MCU's humor, it just brings in so much of it that just kind of falls a little bit flat from time to time, especially when it comes to, its new movies. We'll see how Thunderbolts plays out, but yeah, I definitely appreciate for this just being a flat out fun film. I mean, it is over 2 hours long, so yeah, and there are some times where I feel like it drags just a little bit, but there are often times too where, the movie just manages to entertain me with its buddy action movie concept that I honestly didn't care all that much. Watching Ben Affleck return once again and just, having more of a fun time with his role instead of just being all out serious. Like there's literally one scene during a bar where he's doing like a dance and where he's trying to. I thought it was very entertaining. So yeah, if you thought the film was a little bit too slow, this movie definitely picks up more of that pace. I mean, he doesn't meet up with his brother until like 30, maybe 45 minutes into the movie, but I feel like it really pays off. But hey, I really enjoyed both movies, so I'm not really sure if I like this more than the first, because the first I really appreciated it for its idea and for it mostly paying off. And this one I appreciate for also having its idea, just not executing it as much and just being a flat out fun action film. And it's one that I can generally appreciate. So all in all, I had myself a really solid time with this one as well. So yeah, Thunderbolts is next week. I don't really have a whole lot of hype surrounding it, because when it comes to the MCU nowadays, I just usually just shrug it off, but I'll go see them anyway. So yeah, we'll just see how it plays out, but I don't really have too many high hopes for it. I've been hearing consensus saying, or reactions saying, it's the best MCU film in years, and I hear that a lot with new MCU films, but they don't really turn out all that great. So yeah, but regardless, I'm seeing it anyways. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give a like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also check me out on Twitter or maybe Instagram or Blue Sky. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Ward out.